Hello friends, how are you? Hope you are doing well. So let us start the new topic, setting clear and measurable ESG goals, objectives and targets. So setting clear and measurable ESG goals, objectives and target. This is basically essential for all organizations who are committed to sustainability and responsible business practices. Here we can define them effectively. Like, let us take example one by one of environmental, social and governance pillars. So environmental goals, like for an example, we talk about reducing greenhouse gas emissions. We can say the goal can be minimizing water consumption and improve water stewardship practices. Then in the social, we can discuss about the example of the goal is like promoting diversity, equity and inclusion in the workplace. And we can take one more example like enhancing employee well-being and satisfaction. In the governance pillar, we can think about the goal like strengthening the corporate governance practices and ethical standards. Also, we can take an example of fostering a culture of integrity, ethics and responsible business conduct. So let us take some examples one by one related to the each goal, objective and target for particular pillar of environmental goals. So let us start with the environmental goal. Take example of the GHG emissions. So in the GHG emission case, let's say we set a goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 30% by 2030. So what will be the objective for this? So we need to increase energy efficiency across operations by implementing energy savings measures and technologies. Also, we need to transition to renewable energy sources for electricity consumption and optimize transportation and logistics to reduce emissions from the supply chain. So what should be the targets for this? So the target should be like reducing scope 1 and scope 2 emissions by 20% within the next 5 years. Also purchase 100% renewable energy for all company owned facilities by, let's say, 2025. And next target can be like achieving carbon neutral operations by 2030 through carbon offsetting and emission reduction programs. The next goal is related to water consumption. So we can say minimize water consumption and improve water stewardship practices. So what should be the objectives related to this goal? Objectives are implementing water saving technologies and practices in manufacturing process or other processes, monitor and manage water uses and quality across operations and supply chain. Also we can say support the community water conservation and access initiatives. So what can be the targets for this goal? Like we can say reducing water consumption by 15% per unit of the production by 2025. Also we can say implement water recycling and reuse systems to achieve zero water discharge by 2030. We can say invest in community based water projects to improve access to the clean water in areas of the high need. Now let us take example of the social goals. In the social goals, first goal, as we discussed, the example like promoting diversity, equity and inclusion in the workplace. So what should be the objective for this? Like developing and implementing DEI policies, diversity, equity and inclusions, the policies, the programs, the training initiatives. Also we can say objective can be increasing representation of underrepresented groups in the leadership positions, fostering a culture of inclusion and belonging where all employees feel valued and respected. So what should be the target for this goal of promoting diversity, equity and inclusion? So we can take examples like increase representation of women and minorities in leadership roles by 25% within the next 5 years. Also can example of target like conduct annual DEI surveys and set measurable targets for improvement based on employee feedback. The next target can be like providing DEI training and education to all employees and managers by end of the year. Next social goal example can be like enhance employee well-being and satisfaction. So in the well-being case, what can be the objectives and targets? So objectives examples are implementing health and wellness programs to support physical and mental well-being of the staff. Then promoting opportunities for career development, training and work-life balance. Also we can say fostering a supportive and inclusive work environment that promote employee engagement and satisfaction. So what can be the targets for this? reducing employee turnover rate by 20% within next 3 years. We can say next example of target like increasing employee engagement scores by let's say 15% in the annual employee survey. And also we can take example offering the flexible work arrangements and remote work options to all employees by 2023. Now next we discuss about the governance goals. In the governance goals we take example of strengthening corporate governance practices and ethical standard as a goal. But what will be the associated objective and targets for this particular goal? So objectives example are enhancing the board diversity and independence, improving transparency and accountability in decision making process, ensuring compliance with regulations and ethical guidelines. So what should be the targets associated with this goal? Examples are like to increase the percentage of independent directors on the board by let's say 50% by 2025. Then we establish a dedicated ESG committee with oversight responsibilities for ESG issues. The next target can be like conducting annual audits for governance related issues, audits and assessments to ensure compliance with relevant to laws, regulations and best practices. Next goal for governance example is fostering a culture of integrity, ethics and responsible business conduct. So what should be the objectives for this? Examples are developing and communicating a code of conduct and ethics for employees and other stakeholders. We provide training, education on ethical behavior, compliance and anti-corruption policies. Establishing mechanism for reporting and addressing ethical violations and the misconducts or misconducts and misbehavior. So we set certain targets for this. What can be the target examples? Like implement an anonymous whistleblower hotline for reporting ethical concerns by end of the year with the timeline also. So conducting regular ethical trainings sessions for employees and managers, achieving 100% compliance with the organization's code of conduct and ethics policies. So by setting smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant and time-bound goals, objectives and targets, and organizations are ensuring clarity, accountability and progress tracking in ESG initiatives and also driving positive impact and value creation to all the stakeholders. So that's how we complete the topic of setting clear and measurable ESG goals, objectives and target, friends. So thank you very much. Let us discuss the new topic.